Let's study string hashing today, right? Suppose I give you two strings s and t of size, let's say n1 and n2 respectively. अगर आपको compare करना है both the strings, what will you do? Exactly, for loop लगा दोगे i equal to 0 से लेकर n. पहली बात, अगर string same होनी चाहिए तो उनका size भी same होगा या जो भी है. So you just apply a for loop if they are matching. Every index, right? Every position has the same character, both lowercase, uppercase, whatever the situation is, right? And if it matches entirely, you could return the string match over, or else you could return if they are not matching, right? So in that case, if you are, let's say, comparing two strings s and t, what would be the time complexity? O of minimum of n1 and n2. What is n1 and n2? n1 is size of s, n2 is size of t. So this is like basic algorithm, just one for loop, if condition in between and return statement here, right? So this is how you compare strings. But can we do it using hashing? Right? Let's see. Can we do it using hashing? उसके पहले can someone tell me what is hashing? Anyone? Yes. Map करते हैं, exactly. You map. You have some key. You have some value of it, and the most important thing is you have a hash function, right? So if you want to store a list of elements, characters, strings, anything, right? हर एक एलिमेंट का क्या कैलकुलेट होगा? हैश फंक्शन, एंड अकॉर्डिंगली यू विल स्टोर इट, राइट? तो हैशिंग में यूजुअली यू नो व्हाट, लेट्स से क्या होना चाहिए? हैश मैप सी में इंप्लीमेंट करते तो व्हाट डज इट गारंटी कि दो एलिमेंट्स का हैश वैल्यू कभी सेम नहीं होगा, ऑलराइट? तो इफ आई हैव लेट्स से मेनी कीज हियर, so it should always map to a unique value, right? So functions में आपको याद है इसको क्या बोलते थे? Domain, codomain, याद है? तो if I talk about functions, it should be a one-to-one function, right? One-to-one function. But if you look at this from data structures or from an optimization point of view, right? तो ऐसा भी होना चाहिए ना कि आपका जो वैल्यू की जो लेंथ है वो जितने नंबर ऑफ कीज है उससे ज्यादा है, स्पेस कॉम्प्लेक्सिटी हैंडल करते हैं, राइट? मतलब आपके 100 कीज है और 200 वैल्यूज हो सकते हैं, तो दैट्स ऑफ नो यूज, राइट? सो अ परफेक्ट हैशिंग फंक्शन इज वेरी टफ टू अचीव when the function is also one to one and you don't waste much of the space. Agree? Right? Hashing में the best thing is search, insert, delete. All three happens in O of one. Insert करना है तो hash function calculate करो, जो भी आंसर आएगा उसको insert कर दो, right? Delete करना है तो delete कर दो, जो भी एलिमेंट डिलीट करना है उसका hash function calculate करो, वो जहाँ पे stored है वहाँ से you just delete it. Inserting is also O of one. In normal hashing, there's a problem which happens when hashing. Do you know what? Collision. How do you avoid collision? Chaining. One thing is you perform chaining, right? Chaining में what do you do? अगर same value पे multiple keys आ रहा है तो you create a linked list of that, right? Let's say x1, x2, x3, right? x1, x2, x3 तीनों का hash function is same, right? It's pointing to, let's say, x1, h of x1 is equal to h of x2 equal to h of x3 equal to, let's say, a value v. तो v पे आप you will store all three now using linked list x1, x2, x3. That is what is called as chaining. Then there is something called as open addressing. Open addressing in the sense अगर collision होता है तो you move to the next location. वहाँ पे भी collision है तो you move to the next. This is known as linear probing, right? Then there is quadratic probing. आप स्क्वायर्स में मूव करोगे, क्वाड्रेटिक प्रोबिंग का फिर कोलिजन कम हो जाता है कंपेयर टू लीनियर प्रोबिंग. एंड देन देयर इज समथिंग कॉल्ड एज व्हाट्स द थर्ड वे, डबल हैशिंग h1x and h2x. तो h1 of x1 and h1 of x2 if both are same, right, तो x1 पे कोलिजन हो रहा है, तो अब x2 के लिए you use double hashing to find its new spot, right? So is hashing clear to everyone? And that is what I always say, if you have, like if you are solving a leap code question or whatever, a thought should cross your mind. Can I use hash map, ordered, unordered? Can I use set, ordered, unordered? Right? It gives you, like, hashing gives you a lot of power to, you know, solve questions. Is this thing clear? Let us see about string hashing now. Because string hashing समझने के बाद then you move to pattern matching and whatnot. Right? So see, suppose if string s is equal to t, then for sure क्या होना चाहिए? Hash of both of them should be same. This is like the definition of hash function, right? If s and t are same, then the hash value should also be same. This should be like deterministic, huh? 100% you should be sure about this. If not, then your hash function is very bad, right? So then I have written here, the opposite doesn't have to always hold true. Opposite क्या हो गया इसका? If the hash value of two strings is same, then you can't necessarily say that s is definitely equal to t. There is a chance that s and t can be equal. Are you understanding this thing? वो वैसा है कि अगर a true है, for sure b true है. But अगर b true है, तो you can't guarantee the truthness of a. So this one is, your hash function should be so strong that this one should always be deterministic. If there are two strings s and equal to s or t which are equal, both of them hash function should be equal, right? Okay. But the other thing is not true. If I tell you कि hash function same है, मैंने बोल दिया कि दो strings है, दोनों का hash function same है, आप 100% गारंटी से मेरे को ये नहीं बोल सकते कि s और t भी same है. The opposite, the vice versa is true. अगर आप मेरे को बोल रहे हो कि s और t सेम है, तो मैं आपको 100% गारंटी से बोल सकता हूँ कि दोनों का हैश फंक्शन भी सेम होगा. अंडरस्टूड? वेरी क्लियर? नहीं सुन रहे हो? इफ यू डोंट अंडरस्टैंड then leave it. Yes, quote this for me now. This is the hash function we are using, polynomial rolling hash function. Yes. It's hardly a 5-6 line code. Quote this. Polynomial rolling hash. Write me a function wherein I pass a string constant, right? And you return me the hash function. And it's very easy, right? Let's see the most standard hashing function, right? Assume that string s is of size n, right? So hash function we calculate as s of 0 plus s of 1 into p. P is what? A prime number, super. Plus s of 2 into p square, so on until s of n minus 1 p to the power n minus 1, right? So so this is what the hash function looks like. Summation of I equal to 0 until n minus 1. The size of the string, right? Size of the string is n minus 1, right? What you do, s of I into p of I mod n, right? m पे क्या डिपेंड करता है वैसे? What does m represent? हाँ, कोलिजन रेट m डिसाइड करेगा और m का सिग्निफिकेंस क्या है? उतने वैल्यूज आपके पास है. No matter how many keys, that many values you have. Yes or no? Right? So yeah. So basically, if your string consists of only lower case letters, you use p equal to 31. If your string has both, you use p equal to 53. Right? Let's say if I have to code this hash function, how will you write? Obviously, these are huge prime numbers, and usually what we try to teach is 10 to the power 9 plus 9, right? So let's try to load it. ये हैश फंक्शन का रिटर्न वैल्यू क्या होगा? int, right? String hashing में always you get an integer. Input is string. मैं return value की बात कर रहा हूँ. Return value would be int, but these are very large numbers, so we'll have to take exactly long, right? So let's say long, right? The function name is compute hash. What's the input? String function का address pass कर दो. Firstly, what we will do? Let's define all the variables here, right? So consider it as lowercase. So let's say int p equal to 31, right? Then what else? P की power के लिए also you will require. हाँ, then p का power, let's say long p power. P power, let's say we started with 1 rather. S of 0 multiply 1 से हो रहा है ना, so let's start it with 1. Then what do we need more? Hash value को calculate कर रहे हो, right? So that will be in नहीं, I am thinking of multiply के बाद किया गया है. तो स्टार्टिंग में 1 होगा, तो मैं सीधा p से मल्टीप्लाई करूंगा तो उसमें p स्क्वायर p क्यूब ऐसे हो जाएगा, right? Tell me, how will you write the function? It will just be a for loop for all the characters present in S. स्ट्रिंग का नाम S दे रखा है और आगे hash value also take it as long. I'm writing this LL here. And you will also have to define m, right? So I'm just writing m equal to 1 e9 plus 9, right? Yes or no? And directly use a for each loop. For char c on s. सबसे पहले क्या करोगे आप? What will you do? It's a summation to hash value plus equal to initial में ऐड करोगे plus equal to what? String के तो we just subtract it from a and add 1 to it. हाँ, तो सबसे पहले कैरेक्टर c मेरे पास पहले से है, तो I could write c minus s का वैल्यू ऑफ a plus 1 if you are looking a as 1, right? This will get multiplied by p power, yes or no? s of I into p to the power r. So initially that is the reason I have kept it as 1 into p. And for optimization यही मैं mod करके ले लूँगा, mod है, एक बार यहाँ पे mod हो ही जाएगा, right? यहाँ पे तो mod करना ही पड़ेगा आपको, mod है, and then what will get updated? Power update करना पड़ेगा, p power is equal to so initial p power था into p na, and p we have already defined as 31 since lowercase here. If you have both lowercase uppercase, then it is 50, right? So it's p power into p And this is here I was going to tell you for optimization यहाँ पे mod लेगा इनका yeah p power into p कर दिया ना तो next time जब root में जाएगा तो see when you enter the root for the first character it will be multiplied by 1 next time it will be multiplied by 1 into p is p next time it will be multiplied by p square p cube and so on right but this helps in optimization since any which ways हम ऐड करके mod लगाने वाले हो and I hope you know everyone a plus b mod n is nothing but a mod n plus b mod n equal to 2 right and last में you just return the hash value understood very clear so this is how you do string hashing basically comparison of string next time we will see string matching we will see KMP algorithm all right